Okay, how would you go about teaching an online course? Is the first question, paraphrased quickly. Um, Very simply, start out like I do every semester, give them a welcome video to the students, send it out in advance, and a welcome letter in advance. Give them the course syllabus as well as the concourse online. Make sure they're all coordinated. Make sure that all the assignments are told to them ahead of time. They've got the whole thing laid out in front of them. Go through the syllabus at the beginning so that they understand what's expected of them as a student. For materials, I would provide outside uh, context for outside videos and other articles that I find on the subject matter that we're studying that week, and add that to the Moodle rooms. Make that not part of the stuff to be tested on, but to make it part of the curriculum, make it part of their understanding or a resource for them to use so that they can better understand the topic. I also give each student my phone number. They can reach me anytime between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. I prefer between 9 and 8, but if 8 to 10 I will accept. They can text me, they can call me if they don't understand something, if they've got a special situation. I will try to work with them to address those special situations. I like to make sure that my students feel very comfortable in the fact that I want them to be able to understand that I believe fully in the freedom of speech and that in the power of debate. Nobody has all the answers to any topic. And even though I may talk about certain things that are not in the book to add context, to give it believability or to give them a frame of reference for how this stuff really works in the real world with the business material, I want them to be able to challenge what I tell them, be confident that they're not going to get downgraded for it if they disagree with me, because I want them to be confident enough to present a very solid argument to present their point of view and have that discussion. I want them to know that you can have different points of view, have a discussion without getting mad at each other, without being penalized for it, because that's how you get to the best ideas. Nobody has a corner in all the ideas that are available in this world. And if we cut that off, if we cut off the ability for debate, if we cut off the ability for free speech, then we're shortening the students' ability to excel. So that to me is very important. I want in my opening video, I try to stress to the students the fact that everybody starts the class with an A. It's up to them to keep it. Everything's due the following Tuesday from the week it was assigned. You know all the assignments in advance. You know when the exams are going to be. You know what areas the exams are going to cover, how much the exams are worth, all the way down to the final exam. They have the whole course laid out in front of them. There's no reason why they cannot complete the course on time or do the material there. I also try to keep a little levity in the class. I try to address all their concerns. I try to engage them so that there's a conversation. It's not just a dry lecture. I also provide to the students a complete list of all a complete outline of each chapter and the highlights of the learning points of the chapter, which is basically an outline of the chapter. So that's how I teach an online class. I make myself accessible. I give them different sources or resources besides the lecture. I try to provide real-world examples in the lecture. And when I can convince other people, other business people and stuff, I try to bring them in on a Zoom for a kind of a guest lecture situation whenever it's possible. The last 2 semesters it's not been possible. I haven't found anybody with the available time. Hopefully in the fall I'll be able to do that again as the semesters start up. But it's always a crapshoot. You have to talk to people and see when they're available. And things come up and schedules change. But that's basically how I teach my 15-week classes. One thing I want to do for educational hub in the community and stuff, I thought this new building that we're going building program that we're going through right now. Be a great way to get the students involved. We could use it as a learning commitment. I had this idea of building an amphitheater out there where the present L building is. Make it, design it for the weather. So, it'd be an outdoor theater. Bringing in acts, bringing in other things to help the students. Bringing other revenue generating concerts and stuff to the venue. Having the students work with the construction companies in the building of it to learn for the apprenticeship programs there, to work as part of the maintenance teams and maintain the building with the skilled tradespeople so that they can learn more about their craft, especially the people in the trades area of the college. The marketing people, the business people could be taking over things like promotions and sales, ticket sales, booking the acts, things like that. Be part of that process and make it integral for the students. I think that would be a hands-on learning experience that would burnish not only the image of the college, but to the image of all the people involved with the program, because of the fact that what better way can they learn than hands-on, especially if it's in a situation like that where they're getting the supervision and they have to teach them the ropes. And plus, when they graduate, they've built a rapport with all the people in the community by managing these functions, and that they've got hands-on experience. They've made contacts with people in the community, the employers in the community, and becomes the actual hands-on learning experience, and puts the college a cut above everybody else that we're in competition with for students. Students can come to our college and say, "Hey, this is a real hands-on learning experience." And having that dedicated hub for the business school and bring in different businesses and that to kind of get like a mentorship apprenticeship program going, I think that would do tremendous good for the college. And that means calling on your resources that are out there in the community, talking to people that have heating and cooling businesses, people that have different types of businesses. Have them come in and be part of the community, especially those people that may have graduated from Henry Ford Community College. We've got a deep resource, a lot of alumni, a lot of people have gone through there. People have been everything from successful actors to successful CEOs of companies and that. Those are the people we got to bring back and get involved with the community and get involved with the next generation to make sure they're going to be successful. Everything has to be focused to our students. If we're not doing it for our students, then why are we doing it? The better experience we give our students, the more hands-on, the harder the students have to work, the better off they're going to be, the better their reputation is going to be when they get out in the real world, and the more rounded their education is, the better representation they're going to be for themselves, for the college, for everybody, for the community. It's a continuous situation. In fact, we could even partner with U of M Dearborn next door on the theater kind of situation where we could charge for parking, have the students manage the parking, all the rest of the revenues, doing everything there is business-wise and maintenance-wise and promoting the theater and that. And it'd be like a mini Pine Knob. You could have graduation ceremonies there. You could rent it out for small intimate concerts of 1,000 or less seats. And have it pay for itself, not so much through the community bonds that they're being raised now, but you do it off a revenue bond, which kind of changes the dynamics of the bonding process, but it might also give the taxpayers a break. So it could be a win-win for the community, it could be a win-win for the students, it could be a win-win for the college, and I just think good things will come from that. We need to write that up formally and add it to the process that we have now in place. Okay, what do I like best about the vision statement, the mission statement for the college? I like the fact that it's focused towards the students. We're looking to make the students be exemplary when they get out of here. We want to teach them the ability, like I said in the first part of this, be able to debate and present their positions in an eloquent way, in a succinct way, so that they can get their point across to other people without being offensive about it, doing it in a professional manner. We also want the students to have that confidence to do that. If they don't develop it in school, they're not going to develop it any other place. It's the fact that the statements are focused on the students, and that's great, and the outcome for the students. Well, nobody can predict the outcomes. So what we can do is give every student that wants it a chance to be the best that they can be. We can't tell you, there's none of us that can sit here and say, oh, that student's going to be fantastic in mathematics, or that student's going to be fantastic in business, or that student's going to be fantastic in physics, or accounting, or whatever field you want to pick, or career they want to pursue. And that's kind of why they're going to a community college for a lot of students, is to get that, understand what they really want to be when they grow up. And I think that's important. And to help them develop that, I want, when I'm done teaching a class, I'd hope that I give the students enough feeling that, or enough desire to continue to understand that it's continuous learning. You don't stop your learning just because you get your degree or the class is over or anything else. You continue to learn about those subjects. Whatever you take on, you continue to gain knowledge in it just by watching, understanding how it works in the real world. And that's what our mission statements are kind of asking the students to do. Come out, be respectful, be the best that you can be, merit-based, to be able to debate something, to be able to think critically, to understand how systems work. That, to me, is education. Just learning what's in the book, you think, what do they need us for? With all the YouTube videos and everything else that's out there, they can go out there and accomplish that on their own. They don't need us. So for us to add value, for us to really add value to them, we have to be able to help them understand the material, to be able to articulate that material, and to have the confidence to go forward and present that material and have a desire for lifelong learning. I think our mission statements cover that. And it's not based on who you are or where you are from or what your color or what ethnic group you belong to. It's based on what you can do. And that's how we should judge every student. We don't know which student's going to be the brilliant ones or which ones are going to be the ones that burn out. And we hate to see students burn out. But we're providing them with their mission statement. And if we follow our mission statement and put the student first, I think our success rate will grow, our reputation will grow in a positive manner. Now, the fourth question is, explain how you would effectively teach a class with students at varying levels of knowledge and experience, such as dual-enrolled high school students and working professionals who may already be familiar with the subject matter. Well, that's easy, because I do that all the time. First thing I do with any course is and it's kind of boring for a lot of students, but I go around and ask every student, what do they expect? Where are they starting from? Why are they taking a class? What do they expect to get out of the class? Now, it sounds simplistic and everything else, but I'm doing it to get a level set for myself and for the students, because I have to bridge that gap. I have to be able to talk to all those different students. Now, what's nice is sometimes if you get a mix with those students that are still in school, like the dual enrollment students, and you get people in the same class that are a little older and experienced, and you can bring up the subject matter, you can talk about the subject, you can call on the students with the experience, bring them into the conversation to reinforce what you're telling them, so that the younger students get a better understanding that, hey, this stuff really does happen. It's not just dry material being presented by the book. I try to tell them about my own real life experiences. I've been through about every situation you can be through in business, from being successful in the corporation, starting my own businesses, doing things with government agencies, doing things as a private entrepreneur, the trials and tribulations that you go through, having had successful businesses and having had businesses that have failed because the economy turned against you suddenly in that. Been through it all. And you got a lot of different experiences and a lot of different ways that you can share with that with the students. I find the more you can engage these students, whether they're senior members or just starting out high school people, the more you can show them, the more you teach them how all this stuff goes together and how it all flows from one topic to the next, and give them real world examples that kind of bring together maybe 2 or 3 topics in that situation. I apologize for the background noise. It's out of my control. I'm kind of doing this on the road. It's a little weird situation, but it is what it is. Doing that background situation, showing them how all this stuff flows together and becomes integral is very critical to their learning. And it helps them understand it, and it puts the subject matter in context. A lot of times with the way that most of the textbooks are written, it's kind of written like, okay, this is what happens, blah, blah. You get the feeling that the people that are writing this have studied it, but they've never really had to do it. And being out there and having done it and being able to add context to what the book is giving to them, I think is the true value add that I bring to the table for the students. Being able to explain the concepts in the book, teach them how to read a textbook, because there is a way to read a textbook that's different than how you would read a normal novel. There's a process to it. It's going through and learning the different new terms and that, and rereading this subject, teaching them good study habits. And the one thing I wish we could do for all our students is to run them through a mandatory speech class so that they become comfortable talking in front of a large group or any group when they have to present their ideas. But back to the subject at hand, that's how I handle it. I try to bring the older people that with more experience in the class, even to become sounding boards or people that will reflect that, yeah, this is what really happens out there, so that the younger people understand that, hey, it's just not some old guy up there telling me that this is how it happens. These people are telling me it does happen out there. They've seen it. And I think you'd be really surprised how many young people still in school right now have started their own side businesses, their side hustles. And it's really interesting when you find that out about the people and have them talk about it, and that you can see their whole expression change. And you can bring those things into the curriculum too when you're talking to them, so that they can give that experience back to the other students. So with that, I thank you for allowing me to get this in, even though I just found out about it yesterday, but that's the way it goes. I hope this, and again, thank you for everything. Take care. Bye.